Welcome to Inside the Speaker Studio. I'm Rich Gibbons, and I am joined by Detroit's entrepreneurial dynamo, best-selling author, innovation thought leader, and outstanding jazz guitarist, Josh Linkner.
Thanks for having me.
Josh, you have spoken hundreds of different platforms. Tell us, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
So I'm in this elegant jazz club, sort of long club, white tablecloths, candles, and the singer in our jazz combo was dating the bass player. Well, they had a little spat, a little maybe too much drinking. All of a sudden, we're on stage, singer's across the room waiting to make her big entrance, gets angry. She takes a glass, chucks it, and it was one of those like slow motion things. It sails over everybody's heads, lands on the stage, shatters everywhere. She grabs her purse and walks out. But it reminds me that the show has to go on. So we improvised, we got through it, we made the best of it, and it was actually ended up to be a fun night.
What's the one thing that when people don't know about you, that when they learn it, they're surprised to hear it?
I was born in the city of Detroit. I come from a very humble background, and I haven't spent as much time sort of being in the Wall Street side as I have been on the Main Street side. I like building stuff with my bare hands. I think the other thing which you talked about is that I play music. Learning how to improvise, learning how to adapt, learning how to listen, learning how to play both a leadership role and a supporting role, which that was the best MBA I could have possibly had. And that musical background really enabled my entrepreneurial success.
If you weren't keynoting conferences and serving as a tech CEO to successful companies, what kind of profession would you be pursuing?
I love helping people. I love coaching entrepreneurs, helping them figure stuff out. I'm probably not the best coach in another sense, but in the business sense, it's really fun. And so I still spend a lot of time, I sit on a number of boards. I help companies of all sizes figure out their challenges and ultimately figure out how to grow. Was there a particular moment when you came to the realization that you were really good at speaking and you wanted to really devote your time to keynoting? You know, I had the privilege as a CEO to speak at many conferences, but I wasn't a professional, so I chose to study the craft. I don't think enough people treat it seriously. So I worked with a speaking coach, I watched tape, I still do to this day. I really studied it to make sure I could leave my biggest impact, which led me to go from being a very good amateur to at least a bad professional.
If you could have dinner with anyone, they don't have to be living, who would it be and why?
So Charlie Parker would be up there on that list for me. Charlie Parker, for those that don't know, is this incredibly disruptive musician who broke all the rules and invented the modern era of jazz and bebop. From my hometown, Henry Ford, I really admire these people who disrupted the past. They didn't just do a slightly better job of what everyone else was doing. They completely reimagined their playing field.
Other than yourself, of course, who would you consider to be your favorite speaker?
There's so many wonderfully talented people. I'm a big Seth Godin fan. I think he's terrific. I'm a big fan of Sir Ken Robinson. I think he's just a brilliant speaker and a captivating storyteller. And there's others too. I'm a big fan of Peter Sheehan's. I'm a big fan of Dan Pink.
What would you say makes you the maddest?
When people squander an opportunity. If you have a chance to do something and you play small. And whether that is someone squandering, just wasting time, in a micro level or on a macro level, if someone had the chance to do something really spectacular and they didn't seize that potential.
So to flip the coin, what makes you the happiest?
I think it's the opposite of that coin. Yeah. It's when people are just, they're doing inspiring work. They're having courage to go after the things and pursue that they really want. And also when people are doing something creative. I love that little creative twist. Here we are in the speaking world, and I love saying, how could someone be the unspeaker? How could they be the one that stands out from everybody else, doing something in a totally different way?
Tell us what you're working on right now and what you're really fired up about.
I love innovation and creativity. That's the lifeblood. That's what I've always done. But I was looking for a new source, of inspiration, of technique, of mindset. And it led me to the world of hackers. Biggest threat to national security. It's a very scary topic. And so I started looking to hackers as a source of inspiration, not to teach people to commit crime, but more, how do they think, and could we borrow their approaches, flip it upside down, and apply it to legitimate purposes? So the last 18 months or so, I've been immersed in the dark underbelly, cloak and dagger world of hackers to understand how they think, how they act, what their tactics are, so that I could extract them as a new metaphor for growth and innovation for companies.
Well, thank you very much for coming in. It was great having you.
Thank you.
This has been Inside the Speaker Studio. Thanks for watching.